What's up, guys? Sean here, coming at y'all with a quick little video. Gonna be talking about some Eagles stuff today. Training camp kicks off in exactly 1 week. We're gonna talk about wide receiver battles that we can't wait to get into. I'm gonna get into Nick Sirianni's stupid ChatGPT comments. I want to talk a little bit about the offensive line and the departure of Jeff Stoutland. We're gonna talk about cornerback, safety, Andrew Mabuka, what we expect from him this year. And we're going to talk a little bit about linebacker because I think that's an underrated position for the Eagles this year. We have a ton of linebacker depth. And I know a lot of people hated to see Nakobe Dean go, but I think we got guys there and we're not really going to miss him moving forward. All that and more. But first, if you're new here, please like, please subscribe. All your continued support is so appreciated. The channel's growing every day. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers and I can't do that without you guys. So please like, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. We're going to be dropping daily content, Eagles live streams for the games during the year, live streams for other NFL games, NBA content, a little bit of everything, guys. I appreciate all of you. Let's get right into the video. So first things first, we're going to talk about the wide receiver position. I know it's been a hot topic this offseason. There really isn't too much to dig into, but the news of Makai Lemon being healthy, 100% ready for training camp, it really makes you start to ask the question, what kind of noise is he going to make this year? A lot of people expect him to be a predominantly slot guy. I made a breakdown video about a month ago showing him playing inside and outside. He's definitely going to be a zone destroying wide receiver. Curls, hitches, finding open space, drags across the middle, out routes. I expect a lot of those things. But on the outside, he had a mean comeback route. And I think against man coverage in the NFL, that route that he runs right now could be devastating for defenders. He runs it so crisp and so well. And if he starts hitting that a couple times and defenders start guarding him too close, he's going to beat them over the top. He's not the fastest guy, but he has amazing football IQ. He's a great route runner. He does everything the right way. He goes up and he gets aggressive. He catches the ball with his hands, looks everything in. A lot of toe drags on the sideline, reminiscent of Devontae Smith. I think with Aaron Moorhead, this coaching staff with Devontae Smith, Hollywood Brown, all the guys he's going to have around him, he is due for a breakout season. He has all the tools he needs to come out here and win right now and compete right now and to be our second wide receiver on this team. If he starts slow, I'm not going to really worry about it too much, but by the end of the season, I expect him to put up 800 yards. I expect him to have 78 receptions when it's all said and done. He's the guy we drafted in the first round. We expect big things from him. I expect him to get the volume that Devontae Smith got in his first year now that Devontae takes on A.J. Brown's workload. Guys like Hollywood Brown, Wicks, a lot of the other guys that we brought in that are going to be fighting for roster spots, whoever ends up making the final roster, they're going to take on the third, fourth, fifth, sixth wide receiver spots that you've seen from the last couple years. So it's definitely got to be Devontae Smith number 1 and Makai Lemon number 2. After that, I imagine Wicks probably will get a lot of the run with the extension with what we gave up for him, but I'm a big Hollywood Brown fan. I think him going into that deep threat receiver role in an offense like this with Saquon Barkley, where teams are going to want to pack the box, I think this could be a breakout year for him. He's still very young, still got a lot in the tank, and I'm excited to see him more than just about anybody else on this team when it comes to wide receivers. So it's going to be a great battle. Training camp is going to definitely carve out who's who, and maybe some of these guys don't even make the team. Maybe a Johnny Wilson has a breakout training camp, a breakout preseason, and you just can't cut him. Maybe Darius Cooper comes out and has a ridiculous training camp. You know, Elijah Moore, someone nobody's thinking of. Maybe he's a guy that can make some noise this offseason. I doubt it. It's more than likely going to be Hollywood Brown, Devontae Wicks, Darius Cooper, Johnny Wilson, I think are your main 4 that have a real shot at making this team more so than some of the other guys that are here. But nonetheless, it's going to be exciting to watch. Before we dig into too much else on the team, I want to get into something Nick Sirianni said. There's a lot of talk floating around this right now. Head coach Nick Sirianni used ChatGPT this offseason to keep his message fresh to Eagles players per Zach Berm. That included sharing sports stories with great relentless effort. I think this is getting taken a little out of context. On one side of things, Nick Sirianni absolutely should not have said this. It sounds dumb. Okay, it makes you sound like you can't come up with something on your own, you have no creativity, and that you're just using AI software to coach for you. On the other side of things, he's just using it to give him ideas, guys. He's just using a tool, AI, to help him out, to help him just freshen up, the same shit. You can't water flowers every year. Nick Sirianni gets so much hate, and I think one of the things that I love most about him is he is a regular ass guy. I know we hold players and coaches to this standard that we put them on a pedestal. Nick Sirianni's just a guy. You know, he's a huge football fan. The way we dance in our living rooms when Saquon breaks for a big touchdown or Jalen throws for a big touchdown is the same way he's acting on the sidelines. I don't think this is anything to worry about. I don't think it's a big deal. It does sound silly. Probably should have kept it to himself. But Nick Sirianni is one of those guys that's not afraid to show that he's vulnerable. He is a human. He is using a tool to help him come up with a fresh message, to get out here and to motivate these guys. And I love Nick. As long as he's learning, as long as he's working, his play calling, developing new play schemes, becoming more of an X's and O's coach. He's already such a great leader. If he gets everything else going just a little better every year, as we expect him to, as he's been thus far in his career, he's going to end up being one of the greatest Eagles head coaches of all time. Does he say stupid shit? Yes. Is he a little bit of a clown sometimes? Yes. Is he a Super Bowl winning head coach? Yes. Let's cut the guy some slack. It's 7 days to training camp. We're just trying to get clicks and stuff. With that being said, though, there is some Philly GPT merch coming real soon, which is absolutely hilarious. I couldn't help but put it on a shirt. I'll be putting links in the description for you guys, so let me know if you're interested in that. I want to talk a little bit about the Eagles O-line. Obviously, the departure of Jeff Stoutland is going to be a huge thing for us this year. Everybody's going to be looking at Chris Cupper. Everything that goes wrong is going to be his fault. Everything that goes right is going to be the players. It's going to take a lot of time for him to earn respect, to earn our trust, and to be a guy that we know can develop and get the most out of talent that's drafted here in Philadelphia. With that being said, I think he has one of the easiest jobs this offseason. You have 4 or 5 guys, potential starters, returning to their original spots. I imagine there will be some shakeups, but not too much. You got Bell, a gigantic human being, as a swing tackle. You got Fred Johnson returning, who was ultra reliable for us last year. All the young guys on the team are just going to take another step. They're going to get a little bit better. So I don't expect him to be under too much fire this year. It's really going to boil down to run game schemes, passing game schemes, which we don't know how much control he has of. Jeff Stoutland was the run game coordinator, and the run game was pretty awful last year. So to move on from him wasn't that surprising. He was always amazing when it came to developing talent. But in this coaching system with Nick Sirianni, you need guys who can help at every level. You need an offensive line coach who knows exactly what he's looking for from his run game, his run schemes, and I expect Cupper to come in and do a little bit more of that to take us to the next level on that front. Again, Nick Sirianni's not the biggest X's and O's coach, so you need more from your assistant coaches if you're going to win championships in Philly. I love Jeff Stoutland. I'm kind of salty that he's gone. I really wish he would have got another shot. I'm glad he's still hanging around the team, that he didn't take a job somewhere else, because he'll definitely still have an impact on these guys on the offensive line, which makes Chris's job even easier. Lane Johnson's been rock solid for a long time. I don't expect that to change. Right guard's going to be a big competition this offseason. If Tyler Steen wins it, I'm okay with him getting another chance. I don't think he was as bad as everybody thought last year. I could dig into that with some film if anybody's interested, but I think there was so much problem at center and left guard with Dickerson and Juergens that Tyler Steen just kind of got annihilated in all of that as well. Jordan Mailata has gotten better every year. Absolutely rock solid, always locked in, takes everybody seriously. It's one of my favorite things about him. I expect him to continue to be elite, and the O-line really shouldn't miss a beat this year. Saquon should have a way easier time running behind the scheme that they're now implementing, a little bit different, a little less moving and bouncing around and taking different guys, a lot more zone blocking, hit the guy in front of you, win your double teams, push to the second level, and allow Saquon to do what Saquon does. Digging into cornerback and safety a little bit, Andrew Mabuka is in his second year. I expect him to take a huge leap. Another player that was extremely underrated last year, got better every game as the season went on. By the end of the year, he didn't look like a rookie anymore, and I think that's a little underspoken. Also, Marcus Epps, he was a Super Bowl safety for us. He took us, and that defense, which wasn't the greatest. I know a lot of people are going to talk about Darius Slay. They're going to talk about Bradbury and about how easy it made the safety's job. But Epps had a hell of a year, and when he left, I was always wondering why we didn't just match the contract and keep him here. I know we wanted to draft a guy and get younger, but he was still relatively young. I think he's got a lot of gas in the tank. He was still making plays last year, and I expect that to continue into this year with one more year in Vic Fangio's system. Safety is not a super difficult thing in Fangio's system to get down. Now, to master is a different story. You've seen that with some of his better safeties over the year, but I think it's player friendly enough that Mabuka and Epps will be plenty this year. Now, with that being said, Cooper DeJean is getting a lot of reps at safety so far. He's getting a lot of looks at safety so far through mandatory minicamp and stuff like that. It's already been said by Vic Fangio that he expects Cooper DeJean to be playing safety full time, which if that's the case, you slide Epps into a third safety role. And I have even less concern. We have plenty of cornerbacks. We brought in a ton of ammo, a ton of firepower, and even in mandatory minicamp, our cornerback depth looked insane. I think the Eagles are going to have probably the best secondary in the league this year, and a lot of people think that our weaknesses are going to show through the season, but a coach like Vic Fangio is not going to go into this season with guys that aren't prepared. He's just not going to do it. He's evolving every year. His age has not caught up to him one bit. Vic Fangio still acts in terms of defensive schemes, how he coordinates the team as a young man. He's always willing to try new things, move guys around, and I have the utmost faith that this defense could absolutely carry us to a championship this year, and it's not being talked about enough. Bringing in Grenard, Jalix Hunt taking another step, Nolan Smith coming back and having a bounce back year. Do we bring Brandon Graham back, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Moro Ojomo? So many returning faces from a defense that was amazing a year ago. I just expect it to get better. You get rid of Adoree Jackson and you bring in a true number 2 cornerback who could be a number 1 in most of the teams in the NFL right now. You put him next to Quinyon Mitchell and you've got an amazing 1-2 punch on every single down. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this defense this year. And then leading into linebacker, losing Nakobe Dean. I think a lot of people were upset with that. I think that was a big conversation through the offseason. Could we have kept him? Should we have kept him? I think with guys like Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Small Munden, even some of the undrafted guys, the other guys that we've collected over the past couple years, I think we're 4 linebackers deep right now. I think we have 4 guys that can come out and play right now. Now, Zach Bond is head and shoulders the top guy. Jahad Campbell has a lot to prove this year, but Jeremiah Trotter Jr. has come out and looked so good from day one. I think you could slot him in right now and you wouldn't miss a beat. Same with Small. I think he's a hell of a thumper, an amazing run game guy. I think he can do a lot in coverage as well. Showed a lot at Georgia that he is a leader, that he's ready for whatever role the defense tries to give him. I think he'll have an impact this year too, mainly on special teams, but I think you will see him on the field at some point this season. Our linebacker core is unbelievably deep, and that's something the Eagles haven't been able to say in years. And every time the Eagles come in with a deep linebacker core, even if we have injuries through the year, we normally go deep into the playoffs. It runs our defense, it makes everything easier, and I expect them to all come out and ball out this year. All right, guys, well, that's pretty much it for today. We're super pumped about Eagles training camp. Who do you want me to talk about? Who do you want me to cover? As we get closer to training camp, we're going to cover more and more battles, more stories, more stuff that's coming out. Obviously, we've got some NBA news coming later this week as well. I love you guys so much. Thanks for sticking around. If you haven't already, please like, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the content we're posting here. I'm now on TikTok. We're going to have some stuff up there on the shop, merchandise. I hope you guys go and check it out. Again, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much and your continued support. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.